The Atari 2600 was not the first game console, and it wasn't even the first to use cartridges. What it was is it was the first machine to really bring video games into the collective consciousness of America. And it came around a time, a perfect time, when America in the United States and basically most of the world was going through a cultural change. It was the right time to introduce video games. We were headed towards the 80s with music videos and home computers. In 1977, when the Atari launched, that's when we got Star Wars, and that really sparked the imaginations of children all over the world. And so, today we're looking at a game from the second wave of titles that released for the Atari 2600. Today we're going to play Flag Capture. Hi, I'm Mike TheZorch, and what I like to do with this series is I like to talk about the games, who made the games, what games that they worked on, what kind of technology was involved in the making of the games. I like looking that information up and presenting it because I think it's pretty interesting, especially with these older retro games. But there's no information out there on Flag Capture beyond what's in the manual, and the manual just lists the game modes, and the game modes are fairly simple. You have single player and 2-player, and then you have your game modes. You have the stationary flag mode, and you have the moving flag mode, and you have the wall mode, where basically the flag moves and it bounces off the wall. And then you have wraparound mode, which is where the flag moves, but it doesn't bounce off a wall at all. And then you have a mode where you can control, where the single player controls 2 players. I said a flag. Now you're wondering, okay, this isn't capture the flag. No, flag capture is very much like Minesweeper. In fact, you would be forgiven for thinking it is Minesweeper, but it's not. The thing is, this is 10 years before Minesweeper even became a thing. In fact, this game very likely inspired the making of Minesweeper for Windows. So it's fairly simple. It is one of the titles that came out during the second wave for Atari after its launch in 1977. This came out in 1978. So let's get into the Atari vault with Tygra Kahn and take a look at Flag Capture. Okay, so the game is 2-player only. Well, not 2-player only, but there is
it doesn't make much sense without 2 players.
Well, there is a mode for just 1 player controlling 2.
It seems kind of like weird. I think I'm getting speed 1, P2 speed. I think we want to leave it on fast. I think I know what that is now.
Oh, on fast?
I think that because there was a significant delay that made it feel laggy. I'm curious if that's going to be to make it not feel so laggy.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to do simultaneous moves.
Yeah, simultaneous. That's more fun.
Not taking turns.
Yeah.
So we can't set it for the flag to move then. And of course, color.
That's it.
I mean, it's uncomplicated.
You know, it makes sense once you start messing with it.
Yeah, and you'll see that it's a lot like Minesweeper when playing this. There's the numbers to tell you how far away it is, and then the arrows and bombs put you back in the starting position. Unlike Minesweeper, it doesn't.
Yeah, it feels a little faster.
Yeah. Unlike the Minesweeper on Windows, it doesn't end the game when you find the... Oh, I can't pass through you.
I can block you! Yeah, I knew I was... Well, I knew it was far away. and you were close too.
Yes. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Ah. Thing is, you can see what I see on the screen.
I ain't paying attention to what you see.
Oh.
Oh, you. Oh, I knew where it was too. I couldn't get in front of you.
Oh. Actually, I think the numbers
Oh,
may,
that's just...
You know what? I think the numbers may indicate... Ah. Dang!
It's weird how it counts squares.
Yeah.
It says proximity to some degree.
You're finding a whole bunch of them here. Ow.
I knew where that was at.
Oh, this is awful. It had to be a bomb. The heck?
Oh, that was just... God, just hand it to me, why don't you? Are you seriously trolling me with a bunch of bombs in my own starting spot? God!
Alright.
This is probably the best setting right here. I mean, the other settings are pretty much...
Okay. Revenge. Must get my revenge. Dang it.
Ah, I was almost there, too. I couldn't get there. You were already sitting on it.
Ow.
Trying to get into that box. I knew where it was at.
Imagine doing this with a joystick.
Oh, God.
Especially the 2600's joystick. This would have been difficult to control.
No kidding.
Ah. Alright. Hey! Get over, like, right next to you.
I've noticed it does like to put it closer to this side. Ah, I tried to do that. I'm playing this on an analog.
There is a slight delay, even on my D-pad.
Thank you.
Hey!
This likes me, doesn't it? It is so trolling you. Yeah. I started to get the idea it was in the
near my... Oh.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Come on. Oh.
No. Ah! I dropped the controller. God.
Ah!
And I was still picking the controller up, too.
This is bad.
Oh, if you'd gone one more. I even dropped the controller.
Why was the flag keep showing up on your side?
Well, that's what I was saying a while ago, is it was like a 60-40% more on my side.
Yeah.
It was like, well, what happened was one time it popped right in the square I was sitting on, where I started, and then it would turn around and bomb me like 4 or 5 times in a row until I finally said, screw it, and moved.
What would be more fun is if they had the move where you move simultaneously and the flag actually moved. Because there's modes where the flag moves.
I don't know if that works with just simultaneous or not, though.
No, it's not an option. It's not an available option. It's one of the other options when you're playing in single player. Okay. But this is a very early primitive sort of take on Minesweeper. In fact, it may well have inspired Minesweeper. It's so similar. Maybe.
It's significantly different because Minesweeper was really trying to clear out the things without hitting the mines.
Yeah.
But you had the numbers on how many squares were nearby. This is a little bit like that, but having the mines move on you, I guess, or, well, yes and no, because you got what you got disappeared once you let go of the button.
Yes.
So that made this more challenging. And to me, it was like what I figured out was the numbers that you got, it could be in one of 2 directions.
Yes.
And so it was 8. I didn't quite pin down if it was the bigger number, like if it was 2 squares one way or 8 squares the other. I think it would give you the shorter range.
Yeah.
So, or it would give you the longer range. I was just like going and following the arrows and that as quickly as I could. What I was taking it as a radius. So like if you imagine where you're at, 1 would be a radius of around you of 1. 2 would be a radius of 2. 3 would be a radius of 3. I think that's what I was seeing with it. So if I saw 8, I knew it was somewhere on your side of the board and immediately ran to that side because I knew it was somewhere over there.
Yeah.
And then the arrows would give me a clue of to which direction from that radius. So I was seeing the arrows kind of that give you the direction, the numbers give you the range, and between direction and range, that's how you kind of lock onto it.
Yep. Now,
and that's how I was following it.
See, kiddies, you can have fun with these older 8-bit games. Manual.
Let's see. Atari flag capture. Let's see. Wait, I got one for you. Credits programmed by Jim Huther.
Oh, you found something I couldn't find.
There you go.
Already.
It says credits. It's just one listed as credit. The guy probably wrote it all by himself.
Probably because they were basically assembler code. That's all these games were.
Yeah, it was just one. It's probably just one dude. He wrote it, they packaged it, shipped it, and no fanfare. That was it. I could see a single person having written this.
The reason why Activision exists today is because Atari had this bad habit of not giving their developers any credit for the games they made. Ironically.
Okay, he made Sleep Chase, Flag Capture, Hunt and Score, and Skydiver. All 1978, and Sleep Chase was 1980. So game credits, programming engineering, those are the 4. And then Thanks, World Championship Soccer 1994, Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse 1990, a special thanks to.
This may be the only video where he actually gets credit for making this game.
There you go.
Alright, so next time we are going to be playing Atari Football, another game from the early days of the 2600. I've been Mike with my co-host, Tygra Kahn.
See you next time.